Welcome back to the Life After 50 show. It's a cold Monday here in Houston. I'm not sure where you're tuning in from, but I know a lot of the country is experiencing some pretty chilly weather. So it's nice to be sitting here in the house with my live video show where I can reach you and reach out and talk to so many people across the nation. So today we are going to be having an interesting guest, and I'm going to talk about her in a minute. But first, I want to introduce you, for those of you who are new to the show. Life After 50 is a show I started not quite a year ago to help people over the age of 50 with all of the different kinds of challenges we face. It's sponsored by FindHoustonSeniorCare.com, which is a web directory in the greater Houston area, offering tons of information, videos, blogs, and resources for people who are trying to care for a loved one. It might be an aging parent, it might be a spouse. Anything that you're looking for, especially if you're in the greater Houston area, you can probably find it on Find Houston Senior Care. Today, we're going to have a guest that's going to come on and talk to seniors, people over the age of 50. And I don't like to use the word senior. A lot of people don't like that word. So let's not use it today. People over the age of 50 have a lot of challenges. And sometimes those challenges involve relationships. Relationships are the core of our life. It's who we are. It's how we move through this life, trying to find those people to connect with, and especially love relationships. I have been married for quite a long time, so I don't have any need for dating advice, but I know a lot of you listening do. A lot of you listening need help with relationships. You maybe had a long-time relationship, and due to different circumstances, you're no longer in that relationship. Or possibly you haven't found that perfect person at this time. Well, we're going to be talking to a relationship and dating coach, and she's an expert in this area. Her name is Rosiland Sedacca, and she is the co-author of 99 Things Women Wish They Knew Before Dating After 40, 50, and yes, even 60. She's also the host of Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living radio show. Rozlyn has created the Dating Rescue e-course and Create Your Ideal Relationship Kit for Women and Mastering the Challenges of Dating, a Success Formula for Men. So she's not just about women. She works with men as well, because we all have challenges. And even myself, I've been in a marriage for a long time, but as we are reaching into our 60s, our dynamics in our relationship have changed because our life is changing. We've gone through caring for aging parents. We're looking at the next part of our life and maybe changes in careers, moves, things like that. All of these have an effect on a relationship. So I'm eager to hear what she has to say as well. Rozlyn is an expert contributor to Huffington Post, Older Dating, Bustle.com, and numerous other dating and relationship publications, as well as a contributing writer for Exceptional People magazine. She's also the 2008 first place winner of the Victorious Woman Award, and I am really delighted that we have an opportunity to bring her on the show today. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Rozlyn up into the studio so she can talk to us and help give you some advice. Please also, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll bring them up on the screen and we'll try to get some answers for you. Rozlyn, thank you for being on the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited to be talking with you.
Good, good, good. So you have been in this industry for how long, Rozlyn?
Well, about 20 years.
Wow.
And as I get older, it becomes more and more meaningful for me because I moved from 40, 50 to over 60.
Yes, yes. So you understand the challenges that people over the age of 40 are facing.
Oh,
And I can
absolutely.
imagine, I have friends who are single. Some of them have been single for a long time. Some of them are recently single, and it's a challenge. And I just, we're looking for your advice and your help.
Well, I'm here to be of any help I can be for everyone.
Great. So, we have some questions that people have been asking, and I'm going to bring some of them up on the screen so we can talk about these. And the first one, Rozlyn, is what is the most common lie we tell ourselves
Hmm.
that sabotage our success when attracting a love partner?
That's a great question. The most common lie is all the good men or all the good women are already taken.
I have heard that. I've heard my friends say that.
Yes, we get very jaded in our culture. And as we get older, it's easier to be more jaded, more cynical, more skeptical. And some people have gone out, had a few dates and said, oh, this was terrible, not for me, I'm done. Or they go to a singles event and they say, look who's left, just the dregs of the earth. I'm not interested. All the good ones have been taken. And the truth
Mm.
is very, very, very different because every day, unfortunately, either due to divorce or death or some other
Mhm.
drama, new people join the singles market over 40, 50, 60, and beyond. And so
That's
there's always new people coming into the market who are available. We just can't diminish ourselves by immediately saying it isn't worth my effort anymore because there's no one good out there.
Mhm.
That's a sabotaging lie on a major
Yeah,
scale.
I think it's kind of a defense mechanism too, wouldn't you say?
Oh, totally. Yes.
Yeah.
And so many people I know, lovely single women and men who are perfect candidates, give up too early. They just
Mhm.
say it isn't worth it. I don't want to go out to an event. I don't want to do anything. I'm perfectly comfortable and satisfied with my life. But I know deep down inside, many people would love to have a real love partner, a
Mhm.
companion, a someone else to share their life with, their interests with, their passions with. And it's a shame when people just close the door on themselves because they're either afraid, they don't want to be disappointed, they
Mhm.
set their expectations up to be unrealistic, or they just don't even feel like it's worth the trouble. And we're here today to dispel a lot of those myths.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, another thing that a lot of people uh, a belief. What is another belief that sometimes holds people back from having a love relationship?
Very often I hear from clients, I've already had my one shot at love.
Mm.
So that's it for me. As if there's some law in the universe that if you had a love relationship, if you were happily married or involved in a healthy relationship once before and it's over, that's it. You're not allowed to have another dose of happiness. That, again, that's sabotaging ourselves because
Yeah,
that's not true.
no.
Everyone is so different and unique. And as we move into different stages and ages in life, we may be attracted to different people. Maybe in our 30s and 40s wouldn't have interested us, but now they are. They have
Mhm.
the interests that are more aligned with us. So we have to start by examining that and saying, that's ridiculous. I could have another love relationship in my life that's healthy and whole and fulfilling for me right now and into the future, even though I was happily married or involved in a very happy relationship before. I think some people feel guilty. If I
Mhm.
had happiness and now my partner has passed, it would be in some way doing something to the memory of the person we loved. And we really have to examine that and realize that the person who loved you would want you to be happy. They don't want
Mhm.
you to be holding a candle for them and go through the next few decades alone just because you lost them.
Right.
So we
I,
can't we can't ever give up that way.
No, we can't, and I see that a lot. That's a challenge. And another thing that I see too, Rozlyn, is sometimes the family causes those feelings. You know, the adult children don't want mom or dad to be with anybody else but their parent and their father, their spouse, and you know it can create some difficulties. What would you
Yes.
say to families who are in this situation, to
Well,
somebody who wanted to have a relationship, but the kids were holding them back?
that's a very good point, Catherine. I'm glad you brought that up because it does happen frequently. And shame on those adult children for denying their parents the opportunity for love and happiness and companionship, for one. And we have to realize that we are autonomous beings. We're not here to live for our children. We
Mm-hmm.
honor, love, and respect our children, but we have our own lives just as they do. We
Mm-hmm.
can't be infringing on them. You know how delicate it is to be giving parenting advice to your children. We should not be taking relationship advice from our children either. And we
Mm-hmm.
have to trust our hearts. We have to really look at ourselves and say, am I worthy of having a healthy relationship with someone? Do I deserve love at this stage in my life? Well, of course, everyone deserves love. And love
Mm-hmm.
comes in different forms and shapes, and sometimes in the most unexpected ways. We bump into someone who may be a wonderful partner, whether it's a new neighbor who moved in the block or someone who belongs to a group or organization or a club that we belong to, or someone fixes us up with a friend who they think we might like. The idea is to be open and receptive and not feel guilt or shame or any other negative emotion, because our lives are worth living fully, as fully as we can. Every day matters, and why not enjoy and embrace any opportunities for love that come our way?
Mm-hmm. So how would you suggest that somebody handles the situation with the children like this? I know I had an aunt, and this was years and years ago. She remarried in her 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother was so excited for her. Her brothers and sisters were all excited for her, but her children were not happy at all, and they were very vocal about it. Luckily for her, she did have the support of her brothers and sisters who rallied behind her and said, "No, you go forward. You need to have this." And they, talked to the children. The children finally came around, after
Yeah,
the marriage, but
glad to hear that.
it was really awful. It really was. So,
So we need to have the boundaries talk with our children, just like we had when they were children.
mhm,
That there are boundaries, and they should not be infringing on our personal lives. Sometimes children are more caught up being concerned about inheritance, and that another person
mhm,
comes into their lives and they're looking at it purely from a financial perspective, and ignoring the fact that mom or dad really would be fulfilled with a love partner and a companion. So we
mhm.
have to remind our children that we can trust our own guts when it comes to relationship choices, and remind them that there are boundaries beyond which we don't step, they shouldn't step. And get
Right.
support from friends and family so that you're not feeling you're battling alone. There's also a lot of articles. If you Google, go on the internet, Google articles on this topic, because you're not the only one who's dealing with this.
Mhm.
This is a very common situation. So get support.
Yeah, I think this is a great time that maybe a coach could be a really big help in this, because
Oh, I
they
agree.
don't have an invested interest in what happens. And they can give you that support and encouragement, I think, during a situation like this. What do you think?
Oh, totally agree with
Yeah.
that. And I have dealt with this situation with many clients, so
Hmm.
I know that it is helpful to get the support of a coach, for the very reason that you have an impartial third party who's only interested in supporting you in what's best for you, and it keeps again a lot of the guilt and shame and other emotions from hindering your progress and in enjoying your life.
Right, right. So, what is the biggest stereotype that many people believe is true?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Well, it's all men are liars, cheats, or players, or all women are gold diggers, manipulators, or too smothering. How many times have you heard that from friends? On both sides of the equation, the men and the women both feel validated in making this huge generalization. And most generalizations are based on some levels of truth. So, yes, there are people out there who are gold diggers, who are manipulative, who are cheating and exploitive. But that doesn't mean most are. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't be open and receptive to finding a love partner, because we all know people who have remarried later in life, myself included, after a divorce. And it was the most wonderful experience in my life. And if you ask around, you'll find many, many people who are having that fulfilling relationship. So, but if we have a belief system that says all men are this, all women are that, then that's going to be our experience, because what we believe comes to manifest in our lives.
Absolutely.
We create our realities. So if you believe that, you're going to be attracting into your life just the examples of those kinds of people that you don't want. And then you're going to say, see, I told you. But the truth is, for other people, there's wonderful, loving, compassionate, empathic people who are coming into their lives. So you have to be open and you have to be receptive. And you have to understand that what we believe becomes our reality. So watch what you think, watch what you tell yourself. What's your inner dialogue saying? Too often we sabotage ourselves by believing things, and there's no truth behind it. It's just something we've gotten comfortable feeling and thinking. Or we know someone who had that experience, and then we're making this sweeping generalization about everyone. And that's not fair to us. It's certainly not fair to potential other partners either.
Yeah, yeah. It's a common theme that I have seen in some of my friends, uh, because they've maybe been burned. They've had a bad relationship that didn't work out, and so as a way to protect themselves, I think they put up this barrier that all men are bad, or all women are bad,
Right.
and we're not gonna, you're not gonna find somebody when you're thinking that way. The mind is an interesting thing. Our subconscious mind just takes in everything that we're thinking about, everything that we're focusing on, and it goes out trying to find more evidence of what it is that you're thinking about. So if you believe and you put out the belief that everybody is out to get me, then guess what? Your mind, your subconscious mind is out there looking for more people out there who are out to get you, to solidify that belief. So it's really important to shift how you believe and what you want, and to be able to start focusing on what really is what you want to see in your life, how you want it to happen.
That's one of the most important lessons we could learn, even if it's later in life, to understand what you just said, because it influences and impacts every facet of our life. What we believe becomes our reality. And so we want to focus on the good and the positive, and not be just closing doors to other positive experiences just because our belief system is so negative and cynical. It's such an important lesson. And it's so wonderful that people get the opportunity to hear things like this on your show, to get positive reinforcement. So thank you for the good deeds you're doing.
Oh, well, thank you. And one thing I wanted to bring up too, because I had somebody a while back that came on talking about gratitude. And I think for anybody who has gone through a not so good experience in a relationship, I think having a gratitude practice is really critical in helping them to shift the way they feel about it. I firmly believe that everything that happens to us in life, there is an element of good in it. Even those things that we call yucky, even those things that we call horrible, the most worst experience, there is something in there. There is a gem if you look hard enough. And I think when you can start practicing gratitude on a daily basis, then you begin to see those gems even in those bad relationships.
Very true. So what I tell my clients is look for the gift in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The gift is the wisdom, the insight, the lesson. Even in the most unhappy situation, even in a divorce situation where there's a lot of contention, there are lessons there to take away that become a gift, because I will never do that again. I will not make that choice again, and make that decision again. I will behave differently in that situation. So the gratitude lesson is really about looking for the gift and seeing that lesson as a gift and then using it, because that's the key, is making a shift in yourself, and then you attract different people for the future, and you have different experiences, and this is
it's
so
amazing.
important.
Mm-hmm. And it's amazing when that happens.
Yes.
When you get that shift, it's just people are just amazed at what can happen in their lives.
Totally agree.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's another sabotaging belief that people have that keep them from fulfilling a relationship?
Another one is, I'm too fill in the blank to find a true love partner. I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too wrinkled, I'm too insecure, I'm too unattractive, I'm too poor. Whatever it is that's your particular issue, you put it in, and that stops you. It just stops the progress. It doesn't even pay for me to go out. If a neighbor may say, I want you to meet this lovely person I know, and you say, well, they're not going to be interested in me. I'm too this or that. We close the door before we open it. It's amazing because everyone is so different. Just because other people weren't interested in you, that doesn't mean the next person may not find your qualities to be intriguing and compelling, and appreciate your sense of humor or your wisdom or your hobbies or other interests. And so we can't close the door by denying ourselves. That's again another form of sabotage. No one is doing it to us. We're doing it to us. And the good news is we have the ability to make a different choice and create a different belief and then behave differently. And that changes everything for us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, Rozlyn, what's another important question? What's an important question that you should
Yes.
ask yourself before you date somebody?
So rather than the typical thing that most of us ask in relationships is, what do I want in a partner? Ask yourself instead, how do I want to feel with my new partner? How do I want to feel? That's a totally different reality, because then you're talking about, when I'm with this person, do I feel secure? Do I feel confident? Do I feel valued, respected, appreciated, loved? Sometimes we choose people because they're attractive, or because they have great jobs or a lot of financial success, or their people respect them because of their position in life. But that doesn't mean they're good partners. You may, if you're with someone and you feel disrespected, or you feel they're not appreciating and valuing you, if you feel you're doing all the work in the relationship and they're just sitting by and expecting it all to come to them, those are not good partners. And we may have made those poor choices in the past, but today's a new day. This is a new beginning. So focus more on how you want to feel, and that'll give you that inner gut sensation of, this is a person, when I'm with this person, I feel good about myself. I feel good about life. I feel good about this relationship. Everyone wants to be respected. Everyone wants to feel valued. Everyone wants to feel heard and appreciated. And those are the qualities we're really looking for in a partner. It's not how much money they spend on a date. It's really looking you in the eye and making you feel that you have value and that they really care about you. So sometimes people are so shifted and looking for the wrong thing, they choose again and again partners who are going to hurt them and disrespect them and abuse them. And if we focus instead on, how do I want to feel in this relationship, it opens the door to making better, healthier choices. And I have so many clients who come back to me and said, thank you for that wisdom alone, because I use it as a gauge when I date someone right from the beginning. And I know immediately whether I'm feeling good in the presence of this person, and then I know whether I want to continue getting to know them better.
Mm-hmm. So, Rozlyn, how do you work with clients? Do you do one-on-one coaching or group coaching? How do you work?
I do one-on-one coaching, and I do it just like this, basically, either phone or video interviews, so we could see each other. And I work with people all over the U.S. and all over the world, because now with today's technology, it doesn't matter if you're in Europe or Australia or anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And so the process is the same to deal with the questions you have, the challenges you're facing, the insecurities, whatever your particular issue is, because no two people are the same. And coaching is very customized and personalized to define what you're doing, what you're looking for, answering those questions. It's different from therapy because it's a much faster process. We're not delving into what happened in the past. We're delving into solid solutions and answers to immediate questions, so you can get better results to move forward with more confidence and more joy in your life. I want that. Most of my clients want that as well.
So do people usually spend a few weeks, a month, a year? How long do they come and do coaching with you?
It depends on whether they just have one issue, they have a question that they want to make a decision about, or
Mm-hmm.
whether it's something broader. If you have deep-seated insecurities and self-doubts, then it may take several months of talking on an ongoing basis. We do processes. I give clients homework very often so that they can be dealing with issues. And I also have digital programs for people who would prefer to do the work themselves, but every week they get another lesson with
Mm-hmm.
questions. And the beauty of it is it builds one after another. So you start feeling more confident week after week after week. And we cover everything from your deep inner doubts and insecurities to dressing for going out, where do you meet a partner, and questions to ask on the first or second or third date, warning signs, red flags that someone may not be the really right person they are. Mm-hmm. How to tell if you really are in a relationship that's worth staying in, and everything in between, so that you really feel more secure, more confident, and more wise about the realities of relationships. Sometimes we have very unrealistic expectations. Sometimes we have magical thinking from childhood that we're still looking for a knight in shining armor. Mm-hmm. We're looking for a princess or a prince to come into our life. And no one is a prince or a princess. Mm-hmm. We're all flawed human beings. And so we have to be very aware that love is a process that we all go through, and we're all in the process of growing and expanding and being a better person. And you want to have the ability to know that the person you're with is another human being who makes mistakes and is in their own process of growth, but at the same time wants to spend time with you, wants to share their life with you, because they see the value and the joy they get in their life from being with you. And that's the person we want to commit to and say, let's spend time together. And it doesn't mean you have to commit in the sense of a marriage. It could just be an ongoing friendship and relationship. The important thing is that you both feel good when you're together and your time is well spent.
Wonderful. Well, unfortunately, we're running out of time here, Rozlyn. I have put up your website, and Rozlyn has a great free gift for you. She has a free ebook. You can go to her website for more information, to connect with Rozlyn. I imagine to get your digital e-course, right? Yes. All of that you can find on her website. But she's also got a free gift for you. So let me put that up on the screen now. It's a gift. It's an ebook. It's Smart Dating Advice for Women Over 40, Answers to Your Most Asked Questions.
Yes. And this ebook is just as valuable for men. So, men can definitely log on and download the ebook as well. And we have another website, mensdatingformula.com, that has digital program for men on dating, because we've learned that men care just as much to find out how to do it right, how to do it successfully, and how to eliminate a lot of the annoyances and the frustrations and the challenges that too often happen as we age, and especially, most important of all, the sabotaging beliefs. Because if we carry any of the sabotaging beliefs we were talking about earlier, we're doing ourselves an injustice, and we're stopping the good that can come our way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. And I'm going to put your website up one more time so that everybody has that information. It's womendatingafter40.com, but it's for men too. So if you're a man listening to this, know that the information is there for you as well. And there's lots of good information, tons of good information on Roslyn's website. So I really suggest that you go take a look. I think you'll find something to help. Again, Rozlyn, thanks so much for being on the show today. I'm going to go ahead and put Rozlyn back down in the lobby. And I just wanted to talk to the rest of you for a moment here. We are going to take a break from Life After 50 show for the next month. We will have reruns showing up. So I'm going to be doing some creative things with some of the past shows that have been on, where we'll be doing highlights from different shows. So do go ahead and tune in on Mondays and take a look. You'll see some good information. We will be starting the show in late January, and I'll keep you informed right here at findhoustonseniorcare.com, or if you're listening on iTunes or Google Play, you can find us there too. And for those on iTunes and Google Play who are listening to the podcast after the show, her website is womendatingafter40.com. I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. All right, everybody, this is Life After 50 show. I'm Catherine Watson. Thanks for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you again in January 2019. Have a great day.